Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's the 8th time I'm doing this. So this is my week 8 NFL prediction. As always, get ready for some upsets and some stuff you already expected. And honestly, this is going to be a pretty good one, I think, because a lot of these games could be very, very close. First up on Thursday Night Football, we have Vikings and Chargers. The Vikings almost got it done against the Eagles last week, and the Chargers lost to the Colts, who are probably the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. The Chargers are just really injured, and I'm not sure if they're going to come back from those injuries soon. But even when they do, that offensive line is just holding them back. And I think the Vikings can get it done with something at quarterback at least. Carson Wentz isn't the worst option. He's not the best, but he's definitely not the worst. So I'm going to go with the Vikings over the Chargers, 20-19. Next up, we have Dolphins and Falcons. Obviously, I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. They have Bijan Robinson, and they had a good game against the Bills. And the Dolphins lost to the Cleveland Browns by 25 points, which is just a disgrace. I don't know how Mike McDaniel hasn't been fired yet, but I think if they lose this game, which they probably will, I think he definitely should be fired. But are they going to do it? No, they're the Dolphins. And also this team is just, depleted of their star, Tyreek Hill, not there anymore. And overall, their defense isn't that good at all. The Dolphins are just slowly falling apart. So that's why I'm going to go with the Falcons over the Dolphins, 29-18. Next on the slate, we have Bears and Ravens. I have no idea if Lamar is going to be back. I think he probably will be back, so I'm going to go off if Lamar is back. And to be honest, I think the Bears are still going to win. I know Lamar is a very much star quarterback, but that defense is still injured. And as long as that defense is half injured, which is probably almost all injured right now, I don't think that's going to be a good football team. Because, defense wins championships, and defense wins games against the Bears. That's not even close to what what the actual original saying is. But whatever. So, of course, I'm going to go with the Bears over the Ravens. Let's go a pretty high-scoring game, 30-28. Next up, we have Jets and Bengals. The Jets can't win a football game, and the Bengals looked like Usain Bolt against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is pretty obvious. I'm going to go with the Bengals. Joe Flacco had one good game. Can he have another good game? Not exactly sure because the Steelers' defense is made of paper. But yeah, I'm going to go off if Joe Flacco does have another good game. So this might be a blowout, or it might be the best game of the year. Probably going to be a blowout. The Bengals have just been up and down team, and the Jets have been slowly going down all the time to where they're going so far down that they can't go farther down. So they have to make it go farther down. That made no sense at all. But whatever, there's no logic in these videos. I'm going to go with the Bengals over the Jets, 27-13. Next up, I think what we have here is what my, most controversial take of this video will be. Bills and Panthers. I'm going to go with the Panthers. And before you have a legitimate crash out, I have logic here. Logic doesn't apply to the Panthers, but hopefully it does in week 8. The Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0. The Bills lost to the Falcons 14-24. Does it make sense? Kind of. Will it make sense? I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with the Panthers over the Bills 24-21. Next up, we have 49ers and Texans. My San Francisco 49ers beat the Falcons last week. We looked like a pretty good team. And by we looked like a pretty good team, I mean CMC was good enough to carry the whole entire team on his back. And the Texans, I think they didn't play last week. Oh, they did. They played the Seahawks, and they did some stuff on Monday Night Football. Not good stuff exactly, but they did some stuff. I'm going to go with my 49ers. We beat the Falcons. And I think the Falcons would actually beat the Texans if they played each other. And overall, I think the Seahawks are a pretty good team. And we beat the Seahawks, and the Seahawks beat the Texans. So we should be able to beat the Texans. I'm going with the 49ers over the Texans, 20-16. Next up, we have Browns and Patriots. Is there more to say? Last week, Drake May broke a Tom Brady record. So do I think the Browns are going to beat the Patriots? No, not at all. If you asked me before this season, I would have said it might have been a pretty good game. But no, it's probably going to be a blowout. Drake May and the Patriots have been rolling. The Browns did beat the Dolphins, but it's really just the Dolphins. The Dolphins are just the bottom of the barrel, except for the Jets, which are finally in their division. The AFC East is just like bad, except for the Patriots. So I'm going to go with the Patriots over the Browns, 35-17. Next up, we have Giants and Eagles. I got this wrong when they played on Thursday Night Football because who really expected the Giants to win? But this time, I'm going to pick the Eagles. They're at home, and they should beat the Giants because, well, they didn't last time, and that wasn't good for them at all because it made people think that they're a fake team, and I really don't think Philadelphia is good at that either. But I trust them to beat the Giants this time. I'm going with Philadelphia over New York, 27-20. Next up, we have Buccaneers and Saints. I think they're going to have a bounce-back game against the Saints. The Buccaneers did get, derailed by the Lions last week, but the Saints, they just like hanging with teams, but they haven't really beat the good teams except for New York. But New York, I can't tell if they're exactly good yet. And also Jackson Dart was, still using his time to get used to the NFL, but I think the Buccaneers can bounce back. They've played great football the whole time, and I think that Lions game was just a stint. So I'm going to go with the Buccaneers over the Saints, 24-13. Next up, we have Titans and Colts. Is there much more to say? Of course the Colts are going to win. Every time I've said they're going to win, they've won, except for one time, I think. No, I did pick the Rams to beat them. So, no, I'm pretty good on the Colts, and I think they will continue this and beat, whoever the heck they're playing. I forgot because I just know that the Colts are going to win. It's, very, very much obvious. And the Colts have just been playing great football. If Daniel Jones and, if Anthony Richardson's still on that QB room, I hope his career does go well, but it's just not there for him. And also, I hope Jonathan Taylor just continues to be him. That Colts team is clicking, and if they can do it the whole way, they'll be hosting the Lombardi in February. I'm going with the Colts over the Titans, 34-13. Next up, we have Cowboys and Broncos. The Cowboys beat the Commanders last week. And, the Broncos just had an insane comeback against the Giants. I have no idea who to go with, but I'm going to end up going with the Broncos. That Dallas defense did step up last week, but the Broncos just look like they're clicking, After they lost to the Jets, that was kind of like an awakening game, and they put themselves in shape to have a great game against the Giants when they started awful. So, of course, I'm going to go with the Broncos over the Cowboys. It was just a great win, significantly, to determine how good this team was. So, I'm going to go with the Broncos over the Cowboys, 23-20. Next up, Sunday Night Football, we have Packers and Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers. They had a high-flying offense against the Bengals, but they just couldn't get it done. The Packers, I don't think they're that real. They almost lost against the Cardinals, and they had a close game against the Bengals for some reason, which now we can tell that the Bengals were good. But at the time, that didn't make any sense at all. And Green Bay has just been, being weird, and then, you may be thinking, Green Bay did beat Cincinnati and Pittsburgh didn't, so shouldn't that determine this? No, I think that was just a random thing. So I am going to go with the Steelers over the Packers, 27-20. And the final game of Week 8, Monday Night Football, Commanders and Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They've been emerging as a great team, ever since they beat the Lions and they ran over the Raiders last week. I think the Chiefs are back. It's sad, but the Chiefs are back. And obviously, the Commanders just lost to the Cowboys last week. And I thought the Cowboys weren't that good. They lost to the Panthers, but maybe they are. But I just don't overall have that much confidence. And Marcus Mariota sighting might happen. I don't know. Will Jaden Daniels play? I'm not exactly sure. But for right now, I'm going to go with the Chiefs over the Commanders, 30-27. Thank you so much for making it here in this video. If you do make it to the end of this video, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And maybe like, because, maybe it helps me out. I like having a lot of subscribers, because one day my goal is to get to 100. And whenever you subscribe, not only does it help me out by increasing my number, but it gets me to more people. YouTube is like, more people equals more views. That's what it should be like. And I really like that a lot. If you like sports content like this, or just football in general, then make sure to check out more of my channel. But anyways, I hope you have a nice day, and bye.